Meet Will and Tom, two seemingly ordinary men, cursed with a gift of vast knowledge that is forever expanding. Possessing incredible insight with unparalleled skills and expertise. Let us join them as they embark on a journey to quench their thirst for the truth while answering the questions to life's most intriguing mysteries. Let us open our minds and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? And the Oscar goes to Thomas Case. Oh my God! I can't believe that. This is a huge honor. I guess I would have to thank my. No wait, guys! I'm not done yet. I just started, guys. Okay, stop. I just started. I didn't even get to say who I wanted to thank it, guys. Welcome back, everybody. This is Thomas Case.
This is William Stark.
William,
Yes.
I'm glad to be back. I know that I think we had a week off there. Both of us actually weren't
Both of us,
well.
yeah, both of us got sick. I tested negative for COVID, so it wasn't that. But
Yes, me too. I know. We both actually had the same symptoms, and we both tested negative. So whatever it was, I'm going to chalk it up to one of these weird conspiracy theories.
No.
You know what?
What did they do to our water?
Actually, our listeners. Okay. I want our listeners to tell us what they think happened to us, but be as conspiracy theorists as you can.
Please do. I'd love to hear the tale.
Just to give you a little bit of background, me and Will both had the same symptoms. We felt very sick. So
we both called off on the same day?
Yeah, we both called off on the same day. Yeah. And so, let us know what you think actually happened to us.
Speaking of conspiracies, this isn't a conspiracy. At this point in time, we don't know who the winner of the $100 gift card is. Because we're recording this on July 2nd. Mm-hmm. You're hearing this on probably what is July 11th in the future.
Yes, it will be at July 11th.
By that time, we will have announced it all over social media, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. When we next meet to record, we will know who that person is, and then we will announce them here as well.
Yes, and I think that would be the 14th or the 15th on this following Thursday. This coming up Thursday, because July 11th will be a Monday. So the following Thursday we will announce. No. The following Monday.
The following Monday.
Monday we will announce.
We're recording the episode for the 11th and the episode for the 14th here and now.
Exactly.
On the 2nd.
But if you are listening to this, just go to our. You'll probably see it on our.
If you
Twitter,
want to know who it is
Instagram,
right now, you cannot wait. Go to Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably there.
You'll see it.
It's definitely there.
Yeah, most definitely. So on with the show, William. This question right here is okay. I'm gonna try to word it correctly. I think we can get the
Do you
gist.
Want me to word it? It is my question.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because
okay.
Yeah,
at the very least, I'll be able to explain it with parameters.
Exactly, and I took the spirit of the question incorrectly the first time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so, oh God, it's been so long since I was the one who posed the question. If you were forced to play a part in a movie in which you had to win an Academy Award lest something dire happened to the people you love, what movie would you pick? What role would you pick?
Okay, that is Did
better. I get it?
Yeah, that is better than what I was trying to think. Yeah.
So essentially, the parameters are some maniacal villain has kidnapped your family, Tom, not mine, your family, and said you must win an Academy Award, or your whole family will die. And don't worry about finding the connections. I'm super, super wealthy. I'm obviously a member of the Illuminati. And whatever movie role you want, yours. Whatever movie you need to be remade, done. Any director, whatever you want. The point is, you need to pick a movie. You need to pick a part. You need to act your ass off and win an Academy Award. It has to be you that wins the Academy Award, not the movie, not Best Picture, not Best Costume Design. It has to be you in a role.
I got it. Okay. I am glad you're the one to explain that because that was way better than what I was going to do. But also, I have to admit right now, why did all of that make perfect sense? That if you're part of the Illuminati, you would control Hollywood, which is what I believe is true, right? And then I also believe that this is how certain movies get made: is that they threaten your family.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. We're uncovering the truth here on Dude, Could You Imagine? Okay, so you have an answer. I'm surprised because even I don't have a fucking answer. This is my question.
You know what's so weird about this is because I was scrambling so badly in my brain to try to come up with something, but then it dawned on me, and the clouds cleared.
Oh wow!
And a all-encompassing light fell upon me.
Did it? I was here. I didn't see any of this happen.
Didn't see that?
No.
Oh man, what the hell? Am I high on my medication still or what? No. Okay. I do have an answer.
Okay.
And
what do you got?
I feel. Well, first of all, let me explain why I'm going to give this answer.
Okay.
Okay. I feel like I do very well with character acting. Does that make sense? Like when someone plays this off the wall, crazy kind of character, right? What I'm going for is winning the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't think I would do that well as the main character.
That's a tough ask.
Yeah, right. And I don't feel my strengths will align to being the main actor, right? Mm-hmm. But I do feel like I would do very well in the supporting, I'm your weird, oddball kind of comedic friend that sometimes gets you in trouble, but always at the moments that they count, I'm there for the main character, right?
Okay.
I feel like I would do really well in those, right?
Are you about to pick Jack Sparrow?
You will always remember this as the day that you almost caught Captain Jack Sparrow.
No.
No. Continue.
I almost thought you were going to say what I was hoping, but
continue.
No. So I also feel like I like to be a little eccentric. I like to play roles.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, he's eccentric.
No, continue.
I feel like I can do really well with characters that are just over the top, a little bit over the top acting, you know what I mean? And things like that. So what I want them to do is remake Back to the Future. And
you'd be Doc Brown.
And I would be Doc Brown. I think I can do a good new version of Doc Brown.
I was standing on the edge of my toilet, hanging a clock. The porcelain was wet. I slipped, hit my head on the edge of the sink. And when I came to, I had a revelation. A vision. A picture in my head. A picture of this. This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
A Doc Brown that is so compelling, he'll win an Academy Award?
Yeah.
Damn.
It would be so compelling that
That's
it would
a claim,
win
Tom.
an Academy Award.
Okay.
Because I feel like with, the new...
Don't get me wrong. I could see you playing Doc Brown. Mm-hmm. Continue.
I mean, maybe I'd have to age a little bit. Maybe this won't happen for a little bit. Maybe I could age a little bit more. Or I don't know if they would do...
Well, Christopher Lloyd was, in his 40s? But they made him look like he was in his 60s. Yeah,
maybe they'll use practical effects.
Yeah.
Or even, who knows, maybe
they'll just throw a fucking wig on you. You're
or
fine.
Something. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I do think I would do that well in that type of film, in that type of role, that would give me the best chance of winning an Academy Award.
That's interesting. Okay, so I understand your pick, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad pick. And I do want to explore it a little bit, but I will say this.
Okay.
The one thing about your pick is, did Back to the Future get any Academy nominations? I wonder.
You know what? That's a good...
Because here's the thing. Comedies very, very rarely win any type of Academy Award. And so you're taking a great risk. I understand
you know what? That is true.
I understand you are playing to your strengths though, which, when it comes down to it, it's like, do you play to your strength or do you play to what the Academy has proven to kind of vote towards, and that's a tough decision.
So
what do you got?
Okay, so they
you're like, look, Christopher Lloyd. Yes, they compared.
I know.
I would laugh.
Wow, that would be awesome. Okay, so they actually won People's Choice Award for favorite movie, an Academy Award for best sound editing.
Okay.
And then they won a couple of other awards, but nothing for
acting.
Yeah.
Because, with the acting, it's usually the drama stuff.
Oh, well, I do want to note that they won something called the Hugo Award, and that was for Best Dramatic Presentation.
That's interesting.
I find that interesting. But yeah, you're right. It usually...
It's risky. It's risky.
And it is...
And this is, I'm also like, I'm pretending like this isn't a vacuum, because in the real world, if they remade Back to the Future, it would get fucking reamed by the public and critics.
Yeah,
but like in a vacuum, we're ignoring that.
We're not,
Okay. Again, I could see you doing Doc Brown. You've done a Doc Brown impression in front of me before, and it's good. What would you change anything about his character to try and like kind of eke that award?
So here's the thing. I don't know if I would do I don't know if I would be running around on screen, going like, Marty, we must get 1.21 gigawatts.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be doing that. But
okay, all right.
But okay, how do I give an example? Okay, did you ever watch the new Star Trek film with Chris Pine as Kirk?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Number 1 and 2, I saw.
So the weird part is Chris Pine did very well as Kirk, but he didn't do an impersonation of him.
No,
right?
not at all.
However, then you see Carl Urban playing Bones, Jim, right? Or not Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Playing
And he did kind of do an impersonation.
Yeah, and he did kind of, and
it's
he
also
was
great.
phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
So I think I would take more of a Pine approach where I would still be eccentric. I would make the character, he has to be eccentric and over the top.
Yeah, that's who Doc Brown is.
Because he's kind of like a mad scientist.
Yeah, he's like a benevolent mad scientist.
Yeah, but I think I would give him just different quirks. I don't know if I could pick what these quirks would be off the top of my head right now, but I would give him a different type of personality. And because I think that they rebooted this film, I kind of feel like, who Doc Brown was could be different because of the fact that we're going to be doing it from the point of view of nowadays, when back then it was the present for them was in the 80s.
Right.
But the present for us now, we're in 2022. You know what I mean? So I feel like that is going to be different because now, Doc Brown would be younger in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like it would be different than...
Okay, you want to set it in modern times. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like
where are they going? Are they going back to the 80s? Do you go back does Marty go back to the 80s? I feel
like this film would only work if they do both going back like to the 80s or so and then also going now into the future. They waited to go in the future in part 2, but I think in this one remake movie,
go to 2049
or something like that. And I feel like that, I feel like Doc Brown would be more computer literate for obvious reasons. Most of the things nowadays are with computers.
He wasn't computer illiterate. He was
no,
still
but the technology back in the 80s, that's what I mean. It was limited, so he wasn't.
Sure.
He wasn't too much into that facet of technology,
right?
But then the remake, I would make him like this, like
a computer whiz,
like a computer whiz. But he's the kind of person he's always forgetting his passwords, but he's such a genius. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of the funny things that could happen is like he's going like, and you hear like Marty, and you hear all the thing, and like I need to do this or whatever, but then like all of a sudden maybe something inappropriate pops up on his computer, like I wasn't looking at that, you know what I mean? That was
absolutely.
Things like that.
Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
Like,
Here's a question, and it may seem unrelated, but it's not. Did Johnny Depp ever win an award for his depiction of Jack Sparrow? Because that's like the quintessential key, like quote unquote eccentric, lovable supporting character. You know what I mean? Like, if he didn't win one, I think we're in trouble.
Let's see. Did Johnny win an Oscar? For
like, even if not an Oscar, did he win like a Golden Globe? Did he win anything?
Sir, can anybody hear me? Please hear me. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, this is Fritz Frivolous. I need your help. I'm stuck. Somehow stuck inside the minds of Will and Tom. I need to escape. Please support them and their podcast. You can go to patreon.com/dudecouldyouimagine or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Distract them long enough for me to break free. You can even leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Again, don't forget about me, Fritz Frivolous.
Oh, so he was nominated.
Okay, he was not. Okay, good. Okay,
so for Best Actor.
I just want you to know, like this role that you have to play as Doc Brown, it has to be better or as good as Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow. It has to be that level of lovable and like show stealing, I think.
Like obviously I've never acted in a movie.
Well, remember,
before,
like it's not your job to write the script. So you're like theoretically you're gonna get whatever writers you want.
like I don't know if this is just maybe I'm being a little conceited, but I actually do feel like I might be able to pull off a performance like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hell yeah. No. I
I
love the confidence. Again, you won't be responsible for like the plot, the script, any of that stuff. Like we are operating under the assumption that like top-notch talent is coming in here. And like the only thing you got to worry about is you playing the role.
Like if we really got who was it? Spielberg, I think, for Back to the Future.
Right.
I think it was
sure.
Spielberg, and was it Richard Donner? I don't remember. Maybe that was just Goonies.
I don't even know.
Yeah, if we could get them back, I'm
Sure,
sure magic will happen again.
Absolutely. I feel like I was going to ask you another question before we move to me. Here's the question I think that I had. So you picked a movie that exists, right? Mm-hmm. Is there a possible role or type of character or story that maybe hasn't been made yet that you think you could nail?
Man, you know what?
And if not, that's okay.
Like, what are you saying? Like if I just give you the gist of a character, I don't know. Yeah, it would definitely. Okay. If we want just for like a generalization of what type of a movie and role I think I'd do good in, it would definitely have to be like a buddy film. Okay. Right, a buddy type film.
Sure.
Most likely. Comedy, but I'll be honest with you. I feel like also I can do like those dark comedies where maybe I'm also like some weird psycho something.
Yeah, I will say if you're trying to win an Academy Award, going just straight comedy is almost a death
I know.
So like you almost have to mix it with something that like isn't normal, like horror comedy or dark comedy or dramatic comedy.
I kind of feel like you know what I mean? I feel like that's even better, of course. But of course, I don't know of what movie. I can't think of one like that. But yeah, if I wasn't just picking the actual Back to the Future, it would be like a buddy dark comedy film type of a movie where
interesting,
where like. Where I could definitely be showcased, but not the center, not the main character. I think if I did a main character movie, I would not be able to hold that up. I think it would fall apart at some point, and it just would not give it the best chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So I need your help on this one because you're more of a movie person than I am, and I can't think of a movie that has what I think would be my best shot at an Academy Award. But this comes down to Dungeons and Dragons. So in D&D, we role play, we act, not on the level of like a movie, but it's part of the game. And the best character I ever role played, the one that I naturally locked in very unexpectedly, was a character. His name was D'Artagnan Bloodthane.
Oh, okay.
And D'Artagnan Bloodthane's thing was that he was a noble-born from this heavily militaristic nation, and he was very tied into things that were infernal, which is like very, very hellish, very, very devil-inspired type stuff. Like he himself was very like Hellboy looking, right? Red skin, the horn, the goatee, all that other stuff. And he had this kind of like pompous snobbishness, but also this intense ferocity. And he was very, very much like a mixture of Dr. Doom but without maybe the super high intelligence. But he definitely had that like that pompous arrogance of Doom, along with kind of that lawfulness that Doom has as well. A little bit of Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, a little bit of Darth Vader. He had a lot going on. And before the end of this podcast, I should tell you about like the coolest fucking moment I ever had as a D&D player, but we'll get to that. Okay. But my point is like this dark villain who basically has a code of conduct that allows him to work maybe not be the villain of the movie, but work alongside the quote unquote hero of the movie against the actual antagonist.
Okay.
But also I could see maybe this character being like maybe the main character in an anti-hero story, almost like how The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, how he's the main character, but he's also the bad guy, kind of.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. I can see that.
Is there a movie where a character like this? Because I've never been able to role play as well as I role play D'Artagnan Bloodthane.
Man, off the top of my head,
It's like full of himself, but also backs it up with like immense amount of power. And he's very, very civilized, but he's very barbaric when it comes to like, you know, his methodology sometimes.
Wow, you know what? Honestly, I feel like the closest character in a movie that would carry that kind of weight would be something from like Star Wars, like with the Darth Vader.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That would definitely be
like a Sith.
Because he is more, he's more like civilized. He's not just, but he's definitely like, I am going to take you down. Like,
okay. You know what? Before we continue, let me tell you about D'Artagnan Bloodthane.
Okay.
So D'Artagnan Bloodthane, we as a party, there was 5 of us. Yeah, there was 5 of us, right? A cleric, a rogue, a bugbear fighter, a bard, and we end up getting captured by bandits who set traps, like these weird net traps with like spikes and shit. And we were pretty low level at the time. I think we were floating around level 3 or so. And everyone managed to get caught in this one instance, except for the rogue who like smoke bombed the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And the 2 bandits who came out, I don't remember both of their names, but I do remember one of their names was Rocky. Because I think we overheard them talking to each other. And so D'Artagnan, being D'Artagnan, gives the whole, like, do you know who I am? You know, I'm D'Artagnan Bloodthane, first to my name, rightfully on my... Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And basically, like, I don't remember verbatim what I said, but it was essentially along the lines of, like, if you let me out now, I won't kill you. But if you do not release us, I will make you pay 7-fold or some shit like that, right? And of course, like we're captured. They don't give a fuck. They're taking us back to their fortress. I don't even know what their plan to do with us was. But I mean, they should have just, if you ask me, they should have just killed us and took our stuff there. But anyways, they drag us back to their dilapidated fortress in the middle of fucking nowhere, where there's like, I don't know, 15 of these bandits just living out of this dilapidated castle. And they put us in these cages and they kind of just leave us there for the night, right? So night falls, the rogue, she comes in, in the night, she throws out like a fog bomb that she had. It fills the whole courtyard of this castle with this deep fog, right?
Okay.
And she releases us. She's like, all right, let's get out of here, blah, 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 blah. And everyone's discussing about how they're going to get out and what we're going to do and how we're not going to get caught. And D'Artagnan just literally kicks the door of the cage open and walks over to where they left our stuff by the campfire, like loads up my armor, loads up my great sword.
Yeah.
And I just walk away from the party and into the fog, right? And I had this spell called Thaumaturgy, which allows you to make your eyes glow, make your voice boom like thunder.
Oh, that's cool.
And
what's it called?
It's called Thaumaturgy. It's a cantrip. Okay. It's a really cool cantrip that all tieflings get. He's a tiefling. And so I immediately use Thaumaturgy. My eyes are glowing red. I'm walking through the fog with this great sword, and I'm just like, Rocky. Oh no, Joseph was the other. Joseph. Right? And of course the bandits, they sound the alarm.
Yeah.
They start rushing me, and I fucking cut down the first one, and my rolls are on fire, right? Dang. So I cut down this dude. There's an archer from up top who shoots me, hits me in the shoulder, right? And I have this spell called Hellish Rebuke, where if I'm damaged, I can immediately light someone on fire. And so I look at them and I snap my finger and they light on fire and they fall off the fortress, right? And then all hell breaks loose because now they're swarming and the party's getting pissed because they're like, D'Artagnan, what the fuck, dude? Like, we were supposed to sneak out. So they're fighting for their lives, right?
So you did a Leroy Jenkins?
Kinda, right?
Yeah.
And so like chaos is around me and I'm like cutting down dudes and I see Rocky and he runs into like the main fortress like building.
Yeah.
And closes the door behind him, right? And so I get to the door and I kick the door down with like an amazing strength check, right?
Yeah.
I'm just dragging my sword behind me as it's just like making like I don't know, that sound that a sword would make when it's dragging in the gravel. And the party's behind me fighting the rest of the bandits that I left, right? I go into the door, I see Rocky go up the stairs. I'm like, Rocky.
Yeah. You still have that booming voice.
Yeah, with Thaumaturgy, right? And him and Joseph come at me and I beat the shit out of them. They're like, Jesus Christ, and then I knock them both out, and then I'm looking around and I find some shackles, right? Shackle both of their legs together, and I start dragging them down the stairs. And then I drag them out of the building, and the party's like still fighting, but they got it mostly cleaned up, and I drag them. I don't look at anybody, I drag them through the courtyard. And then right as I'm leaving into the wilderness beyond the fortress, another archer gets me, and I turn and I snap, and he lights on fire and dies. Dang. And then I drag the two out into the forest.
Dang.
And the next scene after, they're still doing their thing at the courtyard.
Yeah.
After that gets wrapped up, we cut to D'Artagnan in the middle of the night in the dark forest, and I got both of them hanging up in a tree. And I'm like, what's the word? Using like a whetstone on my sword. Mm-hmm. And I wish I could remember exactly what I said at the time, but it was like a different take on Princess Bride's To the Pain. You know that where he's like, I'll fight you to the death. No, sir. I'll fight you to the pain,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So first I'll take your eyes and blah, blah. I did like something like that where I explained to them exactly how I was going to torture them.
Yeah.
And, and they're like screaming like, ah! And then the scene goes to black as like D'Artagnan like lumbers forward and cuts Rocky down and drags him towards the fire, and then the scene goes black.
Dang!
And it was like straight like Darth Vader out of Rogue One. It was like the
just
craziest shit.
Then my analogy to that is it's,
all the roles went my way. Like everything just went perfectly. It was like it was a single
it was like meant to happen.
Yeah, it was a single like greatest role play session I as a player had ever had. Do you got a character like that for a movie, Tom?
No, but I was just about to say, forget trying to pick another movie. No, that's the movie. Like, and so I see what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying. So you're not a supporting actor. You're a co-star.
Maybe a co-star,
has
maybe
to be a co-star in a.
It'd be like the way that the Punisher was a co-star to Daredevil in season 2 of Daredevil.
Yeah, you would have to be. But no, I think that character works best in a. That's a team film. That's like a Guardians of the Galaxy, but a serious Guardians of the Galaxy. Serious, version. Okay. Your character is only funny because of how fucking serious he is.
Very much so. Yeah, absolutely.
That's where his humor would come from.
Yeah.
So you're a co-star in a team in an ensemble cast in an ensemble film. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
Okay.
So you need the other people there to bring out your character's weaknesses and strengths.
To contrast. Okay, I like that. So we decided the movie needs to be my D&D character that I made up. Besides that though, if I were to try and play a character for a movie that hasn't been made, it would be if you put me in the suit and did something with my voice, I think I could give you a killer Doctor Doom in a proper Doctor Doom movie.
I agree. Yeah.
So yeah, those would be my two choices: either a proper Doctor Doom movie, or let me bring my D&D character to life and make a movie about him.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to get your thought about this. Yeah. I saw this, and it could be a rumor. Mm-hmm. Supposedly, what's his name? The shock jock. Howard Stern accidentally left his mic on one of his episodes.
Oh shit!
And you could hear him talking to someone saying how he has to fly somewhere and he has to do something for Doctor Doom. They don't know if he was saying that he's playing Doctor Doom.
No way.
Which I kind of doubt too. But it sounded like he has something to do with a Doctor Doom project movie with the MCU that's coming up in the future. Well, they don't know if he did that on purpose as like a thing.
I don't think so.
But they don't think so either. And they don't know if he's supposed to be playing Doctor Doom, which I doubt. Mm-hmm. But he probably has some like something in the movie, which I would be awesome. I can't wait now. Hopefully that it is true.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be true, Tom, because guess what? They didn't call me to give me the role.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. So you might be getting a call soon, William.
Who's that?
Yeah, I know. I'll take it. Oh, wait, how much money? No, never mind. No. Okay, I do want to know from our listeners what they think about our choices and what they would feel like they would fit in. I want to hear all these different movies.
I want to hear what
roles.
movies, you guys, and what movies do you think me and Tom would fit? Like, maybe we're wrong about ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they see something in us that's totally different. Also, too, don't forget, if you can't wait and you want to know who won the $100 gift card giveaway, just go ahead and look on our Twitter, any of our social medias, Instagram, and you can find out right away. But dude, could you imagine? The podcast you have just heard are the imaginings from the highly evolved minds of the extra-dimensional beings, Will and Tom. It has been translated into a format more easily understood by the human mind. Interpret it as you will. Should you find yourself seeking more answers to life's most intriguing mysteries, you can show your support by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. You can also leave an Apple Podcast review. You can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel, where you can leave a like and a comment. We can also be reached through our email, dude-could-you-imagine@gmail.com. We leave you now so that you may gather your thoughts until we meet again to ponder the meaning of the cosmos and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Then it dawned on me, and the clouds cleared.
Oh, wow.
And a all-encompassing light fell upon me.
Did it? I was
right?
here. I didn't see any of this
You didn't see
happen.
it?
No.
Oh man, what the hell? Am I high on my medication still or what?